Well, controversy over a bake sale on the campus of Clemson University. Turning Point USA's Clemson chapter put on the event, and it was meant to criticize affirmative action. The items for sale had fake prices for different races, and the group says they believe affirmative action is inherently racist, and they wanted to start a conversation. Meanwhile, some students felt the event went too far.
We are just trying to highlight, the unfairness in college admission processes that use affirmative action programs and how they, lower the standards for certain races, and we think that everyone should be held to the same standard.
I mean, I felt pretty disrespected because, regardless of whatever cause they're pushing for, they can say whatever they want, they can push whatever cause they want, but at face value, if you're walking by and you're looking at it, it looks like they're giving, like you said, a monetary value for the race. This is a month where, Black history should be remembered, and, this is, on a predominantly white campus. I felt like it was unnecessary and disrespectful.
Turning Point tells us they did not actually sell the cookies to different races for different prices, giving all students a free cookie if they wanted one.